Welcome to the MPG Podcast, where your host, John Graybill, talks racing, driving, training, and cars with Newman Watts driver Jordan Missig. And now, here's John and Jordan.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Graybill, and welcome to the MPG Podcast and Missig Performance Group. We are back. It is March 19th, 2020. We took a little sabbatical, a little rest, some time off through the winter during the non-racing season here up north in Illinois. And right now we are joined with Jordan Missig and all kinds of exciting stuff happened since the last time we talked. How's it going, Jordan?
Very good, actually. Thanks, John, for doing another season, for season 2 of the MPG Podcast.
That's right, season 2. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We got a lot to cover. Very, very exciting year ahead in 2020 for Jordan Missig, that's for sure.
Yes, so over the off season, we've been doing a lot of testing, a lot of different kinds of cars I've been able to get into. Of course, last time we talked, we were talking about the event out at Circuit of the Americas, COTA, which was the end of the Radical Cup Series season.
Yep.
In between there, though, we've been driving a bunch of different types of cars. Drove 2 different types of cars in particular. For those of you who may not have known, it's on my Facebook page and been out there now for like about a week. I've been testing in the USF 2000 series with Newman Watts Racing, was taking part in that to prep myself for another series that we're getting into later on in the show and what I'm going to be doing in 2020. But this series was kind of just to prep me for open wheel series. This was my first time in an open wheel car, so I was doing a bunch of testing sessions. We went to Homestead Miami Speedway, went to Sebring International Speedway, and then we went to a little track in Jacksonville, Florida called The Firm, and tested the car there as well before we went to go do our first race with IndyCar out at St. Pete and the streets of St. Petersburg in Florida for the first race of the USF 2000 season.
Yeah, so let's just go back and kind of recap this just a little bit. So for the most part, you've been in closed wheel. I guess karting is open wheel, but you've been in closed wheel in cars.
Yes.
Primarily the Radical, which is a specific race car, but does have closed wheels. So you got a chance. So the first open wheel. So this is mostly down in Florida, where the weather has been, a little bit nicer, obviously, than in Illinois.
Better than up here in Illinois.
Right. So the USF 2000 is an open wheel car that has a Mazda engine in it.
Correct. Right? Mazda Elite engine, yes.
Mazda Elite engine in it. And so how did you like it? First of all, how did you like the open wheel stuff?
It's very interesting. When the first time I jumped in the car, which was around Homestead time when we were down there, first couple laps and everything, once we got going and I start to get a feel for the car, you almost have to transition a little bit. It's not like driving a sports car like I was used to. I think, driving a sports car, you could drive it much harder. You can put a little bit more brake pressure into it and drive it a little bit more with aggression. This, you can't. You have to let off the brake pedal a lot more, let the car do the work, let the tires roll a little bit more, let the car dig itself into the ground in order to turn the car a little bit more. So what I found with this car is a little bit more like a go-kart. So I had to fall back to my go-kart days of like driving the go-kart and kind of driving it like that, to where you're going to feel the back end want to swing around on you a lot. You're going to feel it feeling very skittish a little bit. So I kind of had to go back to that kind of mentality in order to drive this kind of car. But the downforce level that it has, the aero-wise, it's kind of similar to what the Radical was like. But like I said, you feel the car's a little bit more floaty, a little bit more twitchy and on edge.
And what kind of transmission do those cars have?
It's sequential as well.
Oh, so paddle shifting?
So still paddle shift, yep.
Oh, okay.
It's not like they used to have it to where the old Mazdas, like some guys have at the Audubon Country Club, the old Pro Mazdas, they have it to where you had the sequential shifter where you had to upshift, you had to take your hand off the steering wheel, push up, and then downshift as well. Whereas these cars, the USF 2000s and the Pro Mazdas that they have now, it's all paddle shift right at the steering wheel.
Okay, all right. So you ran that down at Homestead. That had to have been a lot of fun.
Homestead was fun.
Yeah, famous track. And so then from there, what was the next track you went to?
Sebring. We went to Sebring International Raceway.
And these are just open track open track testing days for you, right?
Well, we were partnering up with multiple different teams. So when we were down in Homestead, Miami Speedway, we were partnered up with Jay Howard, driving with them. And then we went to Sebring, we partnered up with Paps Racing over there. So all different racing teams from the Road to Indy series and the USF 2000 series we were kind of partnering up with.
And then into the firm, which is kind of like a private racetrack for testing.
Yeah, it's really a private, I wouldn't say closed, but it is a private small racetrack. I mean, it's not big. You can't really open the car up as much as you would at a normal racetrack. But I mean, it's really good a place to go shake down a car, and especially like a track like St. Petersburg, where you look at the track and there's just walls on either side. It's a good place to kind of just set up, put cones anywhere, and just kind of set up the track to where you can make it as narrow as possible, kind of like and simulate St. Petersburg a little bit without actually having a wall there. It's a little bit more forgiving.
Oh, interesting. And then from there, so what exactly happened? Obviously, we're dealing with this Corona COVID-19 issue. So this past weekend was supposed to be Indy race in St. Petersburg, Florida, on the streets of St. Petersburg.
Correct, yes. So what happened the whole weekend, I mean, we got there, I'd say, well, we were down there the whole week because we went to go test, and most of the teams went to Homestead Miami Speedway to go do the official Indy test, whereas we kind of diverted and went to go to the firm a little bit to kind of just, be by myself a little bit more and not have to get my head wrapped around with all the other teams that are there and have to look at the times. So what we did was we were there in Jacksonville, and then we went over to St. Pete on Tuesday, because we were testing Saturday and Monday. We went on Tuesday over to St. Pete, got into the track. We were loading up by Wednesday. Thursday was supposed to be our first practice day, and we were set to go on track and all. And our first practice was around noon on Thursday. Got up to the grid and everything, was about to go out. They told us 10 minutes until we're on track, so we got in the car, strapped in, ready to go. And then it was time for us to go out, and they told us to wait another 10 minutes. We're like, all right, fine. It's all right. It's a 10-minute hold. And then next thing you know, we hear is an indefinite hold. And then we're waiting there for about 30 minutes, just waiting. What's going on? Then next thing you know, we see the officials just saying drivers can get out of the cars. We got out of the cars, sat there for about 30 minutes. The officials then called everybody over. They said the crew members and drivers can go back to their trailers if they want. The cars do have to stay up in the paddock, in the grid. So,
did you have any idea what was going on at this point?
I kind of had an idea. You can kind of sense the vibe. Everything else was already being canceled at this time, so you could kind of get the vibe of what was happening. So we just kind of went back and just kind of was just a waiting game to see if we were actually going to be able to go out or if they were going to actually call it. So we were just kind of waiting. Eventually, around 3 o'clock. Our session was at noon. Around 3 o'clock, they had a press conference, and they said that they were closing the track to general admission. So no fans could come in to watch any of the races throughout the whole weekend. They ended up canceling the whole day, but they did say that we were going to come back and race on Friday. We'd practice Saturday and Sunday and just make a condensed schedule so everybody could be on track and race without having any fans interaction there. So they canceled all the autograph sessions, all the I wouldn't say media, because media was able to be, all the media and everything was right there. So, but only the high priority media could be in there. None of the small media was able to. So
you got on the track on Thursday then, eventually?
So Friday was when we got on track. So Friday morning we ended up starting at 8 a.m. sharp. We were on track at 8 a.m. We did our first practice session. It was about 20 minutes. Ended up having 5 cars get wrecked in that first practice session.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to miss 2 wrecks, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, you're dealing with young kids around, let's say, ages between 14 and 18 at the time, 19 maybe. So, a lot of inexperienced guys, but then again, you got a lot of guys who are over anxious. A lot of rookies, too. I think there were 10 rookies out of the 21 cars in our field. So, you're dealing with a lot of mixed levels of experience going into a street course for the first practice session of the season. So, I mean, I kind of expected it. It tends to happen a lot at St. Pete is what I've been told. So, you just kind of got to go with the flow at that point. So we did the first practice session. We came through unscathed. Nothing was wrong. We ended up we were flirting with the top 10 at first, but then we fell back to 15th. I obviously was just trying to get used to the track. I wasn't pushing the car hard at all. It was my first time ever on the track. So just trying to get used to everything. And then halfway through the day, I'd say Indy Pro got its first time on track. Indy Lights got to go on track. Some IMSA cars were on track doing their practice session. IndyCar was not on track at all, though. IndyCar was supposed to be on a Saturday-Sunday deal, now with the new schedule. So none of the team members were there. But about halfway through the day, I think it was around noon time, almost the exact same time when they called the first session off of yesterday. They ended up posting on Twitter that they canceled the entire weekend and that they're shutting everything down.
So you guys moved all the stuff there, got the car there, got everything, at least got on practice
track for about 15 laps, and then had to tear everything down. And the thing is that IndyCar drove all their trucks there, unloaded, got all the garage set up there, and then they didn't even get on track once, and they got shut down.
Wow.
So definitely a lot of money was lost that weekend.
Wow, that's too bad. And then is that race canceled? Is it postponed? Is it?
What I hear is I think it might be canceled only because it is a street course and you have to coordinate with the city of St. Petersburg, and you know how that could be with logistics wise and everything.
Right.
So there was a lot of politics and everything going on around that time.
Oh, that's terrible. So, so this is March 19th.
Yes.
March 20th, Friday, March 20th, there's going to be an announcement.
Yes.
For Jordan Missig Racing. What is that announcement?
So, I am proud to announce that I am going to be teaming up I'm signed with Newman Walks Racing, who I was signed for the USF 2000 race at St. Petersburg. I am signing with them to be a driver for the 2020 Formula Regionals America Series, which is formerly known as the F3 American Series, but now it's Formula Regionals American Series.
So F3 is now Formula Regional American Series, which is F3 racing. With Newman Watts Racing, a little history on Newman Watts. So that was Paul Newman and
Paul Newman and Eddie Watts' team.
Andy Watts' team. So they've been doing this for a long time. And your car, we'll put a picture up here on the screen and everything for that. But your car is an F3, which is an open wheel Formula car with a Honda motor.
Yeah, Honda motor and Leger chassis.
Honda motor, that's right, and Leger chassis. Built in South Carolina?
Yep, South Carolina is where they're out of.
South Carolina. Okay. And have you driven the car yet? Have you had that car on a track yet?
So we have done some testing with the car. We tested it. We shook it down a little bit at the firm when we were there. We shook it down just a little bit. So we haven't opened it up just yet to its full potential. But we're hoping to do that once we're able to get a couple of test dates here situated and everything. And once we get this whole virus thing kind of hopefully dwells down a little bit, and we can be able to get back on the racetrack here soon.
And so how does the car compare to the F2000 with the Mazda motor?
So the F3 car has a turbo engine in it.
Oh, wow.
So you can feel you can hear the turbo, you can feel the turbo once it kicks in, and when it kicks in, it wants to go. You can feel the car just kind of like launch you back into the seat. You can feel like a horsepower jump and everything, because I think it's around 356 horsepower is the car. But when you're in the seat, it feels a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Do you know what it weighs?
I want to say it's around 1,500. I'm guessing. I have to look a little bit more into that if it is, but yeah, 1,500 I think is the weight of the car, so it's pretty light. It's a pretty light car.
So yeah, we'll dive into that in following here podcasts. Deal into that quite a bit. Dive into the car quite a bit more, and exactly what's going on with the car and how it feels and everything. So there's that's coming up. So yeah, congratulations on that. That's huge. Yeah. And you had mentioned there's something else kind of going on now. Yes. So with this coronavirus that's going on as well, the F3 series has already postponed its first race, which was supposed to be at Atlanta,
So the first race, technically, I guess right now is what I'm hearing, is supposed to be at Barber Motorsports Park out in June. So that's technically supposed to be the first race. But in the meantime, until then, the F3 America Series has come out with a iRacing Invitational Series for F3 alums to come back and race with current and new Formula Regional drivers that are going to be in the series this year. So they're trying to put the old guys versus the new guys.
In an iRacing format, online, simulator racing format. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're going to be racing, I believe it's the Dallara F3 car, I'm guessing we're going to race. It's kind of like the closest thing on iRacing to what we're racing right now, I feel like. So I think the first race is going to be at Road America, is what I know. And it's happening next Tuesday.
Wow.
So they're getting up to speed and getting going with this series pretty quickly, and I'm excited if I'm to be a part of it.
We've upgraded our racing simulator here. As soon as I get off here, I got a new race car this year, so I'm gonna be jumping in my new race car on the simulated fashion, running around. I think Laguna Seca is where I'm going to be training today. So
nice.
Yeah, a lot of sim racing going on, I'm sure, for a little bit as we get this whole thing sorted out.
That's exactly what every other series seems to be like they're doing, is they're using the simulators and sim racing to kind of, have the time kind of pass, or, just provide the racing experience for everybody else. So
yeah, wow, that's
it's going to be the sim racing league is supposed to be 7 weeks. I know that they're going to try to stream it on their Formula Regionals page, on a Twitch channel, and I think a YouTube channel. So it will be live streamed and will be commentated as well. So there'll be a lot of
that's awesome.
It'll be just like a TV coverage broadcast. You'll be able to watch it.
Well, we'll talk quite a bit about that. And so that's next Tuesday is the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that is March 24th, if I am correct.
So next Tuesday will be the first iRacing simultaneously broadcast thing. Check out your Facebook page to know where there'll be a link there for everybody to watch it.
We will definitely be sharing the page on my my Facebook page, as well as I believe my Twitter and Instagram page as well. We're going to try to share as many links as well to that page.
All right.
So that way everyone can be able to watch the race. It'll be on Tuesday, March 24th is the day, and the racing starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, so 6 o'clock Illinois time for the Illinois users who are watching.
Okay. Great. When's the next time you're going to actually get in the car? Do we have anything set up right now?
As of right now, it was supposed to be April 1st at the Autobahn, but a couple days ago we found out that that's not going to be happening until April 14th. So
yeah,
at this point, I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll stand by on all that information. Again, I'm excited to hear about the car. It looks awesome. It looks super fast, super fun. Anyway, well, thanks, Jordan, once again. MPG Podcast, March 19th, 2020. First episode of this year. Super exciting things are going to be taking place for you racing, and I just can't wait to watch, cheer you on, and hear all about it.
It's going to be a fun season, that's for sure, and I'm super excited to get it started once this whole issue is done with. So the faster the better.
That's right. That's right. All right, Jordan. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John.